Hello and welcome to JSB Talks Digital, the podcast for marketers, digital transformation champions, and those of you bringing your skills into the digital age. I'm Joanne Sweeney-Burke and this podcast is brought to you by Digital Training Institute. I've just returned from London, having spent 4 days at the Google Digital Academy, and it inspired me to think about the role of Google in digital marketing. Coming up in this episode, in social media news, LinkedIn introduces native video. YouTube is getting rid of its built-in video editing feature, and Facebook releases a new report on video consumption behaviours on Facebook and Instagram. I interview digital marketing strategist and ex-Googler Christina Brauer. In shoutouts, 3 Google updates you need to know about. In Ask JSB, Michelle wants to know if we should bother with Google+. In JSB's column, how to integrate Google into your digital marketing strategy from start to finish. And find out what Google tool saved my working week.
Social media news.
It's about time, really. Native video finally comes to LinkedIn. Well, not to all of us just yet, but we will have it soon. Isn't this the one feature that you've been waiting for from the professional social network? The ability to record and post native videos directly from the LinkedIn mobile app was rolled out to some users last week. Video, as you know, is growing in popularity among marketers and advertisers, but its value is also in brand storytelling. I intend to use it to do highlights from events, providing my community with an exclusive interview tip, and also publishing my podcast highlights. LinkedIn videos can be viewed on desktop and mobile, and we will have access to analytics including views, likes, as well as where viewers work and their job title. The feature is being beta tested now with a select number of users before rolling out to the full LinkedIn community soon. YouTube has announced that it will shut down its built-in video editor feature on September 20th. However, the site's enhancements feature will remain in Video Manager, so we will still be able to tweak our uploads with blur effects, filters, and trimming directly on the page. The video editing tool has been around since 2010, but according to Mashable, as few as 0.1% of all creators actually use it. YouTube's photo slideshow creation tool will also bite the dust on the same date. You can read the full announcement on the blog associated with this podcast at digitaltraining.ie. Facebook has released a fascinating report giving us marketers insights into how video has changed the social media landscape. Facebook says that mobile video viewers seek convenience, community, and relevance. Interestingly, the research also showed that people associate mobile video with positive emotions, and they report feeling happy when watching videos on Facebook or on Instagram. Facebook says they have 2 theories as to why mobile video feels more emotionally engaging than TV. Firstly, viewing content on a more personal device, a device that has practically become an extension of our bodies, creates a stronger emotional connection. Secondly, seeing video at shorter distance might reduce distractions and feel more immersive, thus eliciting heightened emotions. Over the last year on a global scale, daily watch time for video live broadcasts has quadrupled. Time spent watching video on Instagram has increased by 80%. And it seems this growth will continue. 45% of people surveyed in the US study told Facebook that they expect to consume even more video on their smartphones in the future.
Interview.
In this week's show, I interview a new digital marketing friend from Germany. Christina Brauer is a London-based digital marketing expert working with companies across Europe. She began her career in Google Dublin as an account strategist, where she advised companies from diverse industries and scale on incorporating Google's ad products into their marketing strategy. Since then, she worked in the thriving Berlin startup scene. Christina worked in high-growth startups like Fab.com, Auctionata, and Unique, where she applied her deep knowledge of paid search, Google Display and YouTube to drive performance, and she also acquired skills across channels like Facebook advertising, display marketing, SEO and affiliate marketing. After being head of online marketing at German art shop Unique for 2.5 years, where she grew the business tenfold, Christina moved to London to work as an independent consultant and trainer. You can connect with Christina on LinkedIn, but here, listen to my interview when we caught up at Google's Digital Academy in London.
Interview.
So Christina, you're very welcome to JSB Talks Digital. You're an ex-Googler. Tell us about your digital marketing background, but also your Google days. Everybody loves to talk to an ex-Googler.
Thanks for having me, Joanne. It's a pleasure to be on your podcast. So I have basically my whole life been interested in advertising and what makes consumers tick, which is why I studied communication science in university. And when I graduated, I was kind of lost in the big world of, I knew I wanted to work in marketing, but didn't really know what and where. And luckily I had worked previously with a girl who was a recruiter in Google at the same time, who then urged me to send her my application. And I was really like, sure, I will work in Google. Probably not, but I sent it to her anyways. 2 weeks later, I found myself on a plane to Dublin to interview. And about roughly 2 months later, I got an offer, accepted it, and then two months later, moved to Dublin to join Google there. And it was over the moon because, it was always like the one company I couldn't even imagine working for. I worked with really cool people, like really inspiring people who continue to be my friends up until today. And I have always loved about marketing, like the creative side, like working with all the different media. But in university, one of my professors very often actually used the quote, in marketing, half your spend is wasted, but the problem is you never know which half. Imagine my joy when I discovered digital marketing, where I could actually tell which half that was. And also just working with like all the systems that they have in Google, really getting to the bottom of all the tools. Got me excited every day. So I worked as an account strategist for big German advertising clients on the AdWords side. And my work was looking at their accounts, giving them recommendation what to optimize, also working with them on their broader strategies, on like which Google products to use, how to grow their conversions and all their actions. It was really exciting.
So we're here in London in the Google Digital Academy. It's absolutely fabulous, with our client Zavado to train as Google Mobile Masterclass trainers. So how important do you think mobile is right now, but also to the future of digital marketing?
So I think for the last 5 years, people have been saying, this year is the year of mobile. It's the year of mobile. It's the year of mobile. And then it never really was the year of mobile until probably last year, when it really was the year of mobile. And like even my mother saw that there's actually a use of having internet on her smartphone. So like and as you know, you all know how important your mobile is in your lives, and that's how important it is in marketing as well. And I think that role will only grow, but also the definition of mobile will expand, because like your home will be connected. That will also kind of be mobile. There will be wearable tech that also will be mobile. So the significance of the desktop computer will fade away, and like more and more devices will come online.
Do you think marketers realize the potential of mobile and all that personalized data?
Some do. What I see a lot is that people maybe see the potential, but don't really know what to do with it and how to engage with it. Because as a digital marketer, like at the end of the day, you care about results and conversions, or whatever action it is you want customers to take. And that last, like the last part of the customer journey that's really hard for people to understand. So, I think there will be a lot of learning for us digital marketers happening in the next few years to like really understand the importance of mobile and also drive home whatever happens on there.
So let's talk about search versus social. Digital marketers, some prefer search, some prefer social. Is one more important than the other, or are they both two lanes in the one digital motorway helping us along on our journey?
Of course, the big question, search versus social, very exciting. obviously my home turf that I've kind of grown up in digital marketing is search, and I'm very excited about search. But over the last few years, I've also learned the importance of mobile, and it's really like they can be a great support to each other, and what channel should be central to your campaigns really depends what you're trying to do and what your product is. Like if you market an existing product or service that there is a demand for, search will always be your go-to channel because there's demand that you can just go and capture straight away. But if you're selling products that need more explanation, where there is no demand, that are very visual, then social is like an incredibly powerful channel. And also Facebook, the way it lets you target, the way it uses their data, makes it a very, very attractive advertising channel and also a very profitable one.
So when we think of Google, many digital marketers think about search, AdWords, analytics, or Gmail. But how would you describe Google's overall role in digital marketing?
That's an interesting one because, people think of all the different products that Google has, and it really, I think you can, like, that works well for a lot of people, but, and what you can also see and what Google also is always trying to position themselves as is like really the digital company where like all the knowledge lies, where you can find all the data that will help you run your campaigns.
So the customer is king in digital marketing. However, sometimes marketers concentrate too much on the client or the brand. What advice would you give to marketers to put themselves in customer shoes?
So what I try to always kick off my work with is to really focus on the customer, develop a customer profile, define my audience, and then start the campaign creation from there. And then that's where I'm also guilty of, because I'm such a big fan of systems and numbers and things. I then like try to put whatever is defined as the customer persona into the campaign and operationalize that. And then always before switching the campaign on, try to go back and see, okay, like we've now created this monster of a campaign. Like, does it actually do what we decided in the first step? Or did we just get carried away by all the widgets and gadgets and nice things that there are to play for us as digital marketers? And I think this is really, really important because, we do get carried away.
We totally do. So what are the most important Google tools that every digital marketer should have in their toolbox?
There's two that are very, very important to like for the research and creation phase. One's the one I often use actually is Google Trends to just see like how things are going, what's the rising stars, what's the dropping stars. And then at the same time, also the Google keyword tool for audience estimation. And then it doesn't necessarily have to be a Google tool, but something along the lines of Google Analytics today, everybody should have and know how to use and how, like, what the different metrics mean, how to use the insights that you can get from that, because it can save you so much money. You can get, your advertising can get so much better by using that.
So tell me about your favorite Google tool and why. Which Google tool could you not live without?
Gmail and Calendar, and especially the combination of the two, where now if I fly somewhere, Google knows it and puts it in my calendar. And like I travel and work a lot across time zones, and just when I get to Germany, Google knows I'm in Germany and it asks me to adjust the time zone. But then when I book a flight, it puts it into my calendar in the right time zone for when I have to go and when I have to leave. So it just makes my life so much easier. And just Gmail with all its features is super helpful. And with some clients, I work on other systems and they just really confuse me now.
Okay, so finally, what one nugget of advice would you give to marketers when developing a client digital marketing strategy?
Use data. It's out there for you.
Fantastic. Christina, a pleasure to meet you here in the Google Digital Academy in London. And thank you so much for joining me on JSB Talks Digital.
Thank you.
Shoutouts.
In this part of the show, I give shout-outs to brands, organisations or individuals whose work online is remarkable and worth talking about. In this week's show, I'm sharing 3 new super Google updates that you need to know about.
1.
So my first new Google update, and I'm super excited about this one. Google has added voice-based navigation to Google Analytics. Whoa, I hear you screech. Yes, indeed. So, for example, if you want to know what's the trend of mobile versus desktop traffic for the past month, or how many conversions you got on your ebook page, or even what was the highest performing page this week, you can simply ask the question. No more pulling together customized reports at the last minute and a sweat before a client or a management meeting. Instead, just type in your query or speak it out loud. Apparently, this new feature is part of a bigger piece of work Google is currently working on called Analytics Intelligence. It aims to give customers a better understanding of their Google Analytics data.
2.
Google is getting a newsfeed. Yes, users will soon see a personalised Facebook-style newsfeed on google.com, showing us content we may be interested even before we search. It will display news stories, features, videos, and music chosen on the basis of our previous searches. If interested in any of the content displayed, we will also be able to click the follow button on search results to add topics of interest to our feed. So, what do you think? Will you use Google like you use Facebook? I'd love your thoughts.
3.
Google has added a new SOS alerts feature to search and to maps to provide users with live updates about emergency situations. They have teamed up with a number of partners, including the Red Cross, who are working on the front line of relief efforts to provide the alerts. During a crisis, internet users may see an SOS alert at the top of search results when searching for an incident or a location. You'll also see maps, top stories, and, when available, authoritative local information such as emergency phone numbers, websites, and translations of useful phrases. Depending on how close you are to an affected area, users may also get a notification on your mobile device that directs you to such information. Those outside of the crisis area will also see things like news stories and ways to donate to those in need. Google says they will also push notifications to those in the area that points them to this useful information.
Ask JSB.
Ask JSB brings the voices of my listeners onto the show. So you now have an opportunity to ask me a question, have it aired on the podcast, and I will duly respond. If you want to hear your voice on JSB Talks Digital, simply log on to digitaltraininginstitute.ie/askjsb and you might find yourself and your question on the show. Today's question on Google is from Michelle, founder of Breffni Digital and co-director of Irish Biz Party.
Hi Joanne, Michelle here from Breffni Digital and Irish Biz Party. My question on Google would be, as active as I am on all social media platforms, I totally ignore Google+. Is it something we should be using, and if so, how?
Thanks for your question, Michelle. Even though Google Plus is often thought of as just another social network, it's important to use it because it's a Google platform. A Google Plus profile and its content will become part of the results of a search for a company or your services. Everything you post on Google Plus for a business page is immediately indexed by Google. Thus, the content you post to your page can rank in search results, even if your website doesn't. I share all my blogs, all my podcasts, and vlogs on Google Plus, and they're indexed on the search engine immediately. So, why waste a golden opportunity like that?
JSB's column.
In today's column, I share my insights into how to integrate Google into your digital marketing strategy from beginning to end. I'm going to take you through a typical day at Digital Training Institute to show you how I integrate Google tools into my working life and also for my clients. Google My Business. I'm moving office next week, and the most important thing for me to do is to register my new address on my Google My Business account. Don't miss this vital opportunity to have your own Google pin on Google Maps and help direct customers to your door. Google Plus, I've already mentioned this in Ask JSB. The Search Console is a collection of Google tools that helps us make sure our website is working the way it should. Google Keyword Planner is the best tool to conduct keyword research so that you produce content relevant to your audience, but also ensuring you get your pay-per-click campaigns right. It will show you search volumes per location and the competition rating if paying for AdWords. This leads me on to Google Trends. Find out what's trending near you or near a client's business and add context to your digital marketing. Google Trends shows you how often a particular search term is entered relative to the social search volume across various regions of the world and also in various languages. Google Analytics and Tag Manager are tools that work together to track how people are interacting with your company's websites, and they're cornerstones to any digital marketing strategy or campaign. If you want more advanced tools, look no further than Google's 360 suite. This is a data management platform which provides more in-depth analytical data which your company can use to track ROI and marketing activities. There are 6 products in the suite: Analytics 360, Tag Manager 360, Optimize 360, 360 Attribution, Audience Center 360, and Data Studio 360. Google AdWords is where we manage ad campaigns for us and for our clients. Google Search. Well, there's not a day that goes by that we don't do a Google search. Moving on to YouTube, owned by Google and the world's second largest search engine after Google, YouTube is the place to host your videos or vlogs, not to mention the SEO value and the opportunity to leverage their 1.3 billion daily users. Page Speed Insights is a great tool. You need to know how fast your website pages are loading, so use this tool. And Mobile Friendly Test. Don't forget to take the Mobile Friendly Test too. I'll come to that later in the show. Google Alerts. I receive my daily alerts for mentions of JSB and Digital Training Institute at 6 p.m. every single day, ensuring I never miss an online mention that I may need to respond to. Finally, it wouldn't be a complete JSB list of tools without adding in Maps. Yes, you know why. Because I can't leave the house, the office, or any building without getting lost. But I have to admit, sometimes I even get lost with Google Maps. My fault, not Google's. And finally, you must keep up with Google's algorithm changes. Did you know Google changes its search algorithm around 500 to 600 times a year? So, Moz is a super resource to help you to stay up to date with these changes. Log on to moz.com/Google-algorithm-change. So there you go, my favourite list of Google tools. What are yours? Let me know. Send me a tweet to @tweets by JSB.
Social media tool of the week.
The tool that saved my working week this week is Google's Mobile Web Speed Test. We are right in the middle of giving our website a facelift, so this involves UX and development work. Did you know that you have just seconds to keep the attention of a website visitor before they will jump away to another site or app? Research shows that nearly half of web users expect a site to load in 2 seconds or less, and they tend to abandon a site that isn't loaded within 3 seconds. Yes, the ideal website speed should be 2 seconds, so it's important for the user experience. However, Google has indicated site speed, and as a result, page speed is one of the signals used by its algorithm to rank pages. As a footnote, page speed is also important to user experience. Pages with a longer load time tend to have higher bounce rates and lower average time on page. Longer load times have also been shown to negatively affect conversions. So why not use Google's free tool and test your website speed on mobile today? You'll find the URL on the blog post associated with this podcast at digitaltraining.ie. Thanks so much for tuning into this episode of JSB Talks Digital. I've loved talking Google. To ensure you never miss a show, please subscribe on your smartphone on iTunes or Stitcher or SoundCloud. We're also, as you know, syndicating on the world's largest podcast network, Libsyn. If you're a regular listener, I'd also love a review. I really need some reviews on iTunes and on Stitcher. As always, I have everything discussed on today's show on my blog at digitaltraining.ie. Don't be a social media stranger. I love feedback, so be sure to tweet me your thoughts to @tweetsbyJSB, post a comment on our Facebook page, Digital Training Institute, or send me a snap to JSB Snaps. I'm Joanne Sweeney Burke. This is JSB Talks Digital. Thanks for listening, and I'll talk to you soon.